Alright, today I'm going to talk about the new movie, Seven Deadly Sins, The Grudge of Edinburgh, which is basically where the vampires lived, and it's the grudge of that place, right? And we have a new villain who is a returning character, and all that kind of stuff. So before we get into that, I'm about to tell you guys, spoiler alert, I will be spoiling stuff in this video, so if you guys want to go and watch the movie first and come back to this video for the review, you're more than welcome to do that. There's a few things I liked about the movie, and there's one thing that kind of really bothers me. Okay, actually I like the movie a lot. I think the movie was fantastic. The only bad part is they split it up into, I don't know how many parts, 2 parts maybe, 2 or 3 parts. So the first part is only 15 minutes long, and it's kind of like I don't know, you're watching it and it's getting to the good stuff, and then it just cuts off, and it's like, oh, the movie's done? Question mark. Apparently the second part's supposed to come out in the summer of 2023. So yeah, we got a long ways wait for part 2. So if you want to wait, and watch the whole movie, maybe wait till the summer to watch part 1 and part 2. So you don't have to watch the first part and stop, and then kind of forget about it. You have to rewatch it again and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I want to say, okay, for those doubters that were thinking the CGI was going to be bad, it's really good, okay? The CGI is actually really good. I was kind of surprised to see it. It was that good. We saw the trailer, right? And from the trailer, it looked bad. Like, the trailer for the movie, it looked terrible, okay? But when I was watching the movie, I'm like, holy shit, this is really good. This is some well-done animations, well-done CGI. I mean, it was fantastic, and we got introduced to a new character, which I haven't read the continuation of the manga. I forgot what it's called. I haven't read it. I've only read the Seven Deadly Sins manga, but I know there's a continuation with the kids of like Meliodas and Elizabeth, Bond and Elaine, King and Deanne have a kid as well. I haven't read that, so if you haven't read that, this is basically introduction to the kids for the following, the way they do like Boruto and stuff like that, right? So we meet Tristian and we have Lancelot. Those are the only two they really show as far as new characters goes. Tristian being the kid of Meliodas and Elizabeth, and then Lancelot being the kid of Elaine and Bond. Okay, but this story is more focused on Tristian than it is on Lancelot, because we later on meet Lancelot, right? So it starts off basically, I mean, in Tristan's point of view, like, he's fighting against Lancelot, and then he's awakening his like demon powers, which he doesn't really know he has. He can't control them, so he hurts Lancelot. Then he has like this whole fear of ever awakening them. He has goddess powers, and then the movie, goes on, and then Elizabeth gets sick. She gets a curse on her from the villain, which I'll talk about here in a second. And then Tristan's like, oh my god, I must save Mother, and so he goes off on his own, with the dumbest thing ever, right? And Meliodas is just dumb, bro. Meliodas just doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit, bro, about his kid or anything like that, and he just lets him go. And then they fight like these Gallon clones, which are terrorizing the forest, the fairy forest, and the giants. And they're just getting obliterated, man, by Gallon clones. And then you have Lancelot show up there. He's like in this fat king form. Like, he has this fat form. I guess Lancelot can have many forms, what I'm told. Like, he just transforms. And then him and, Tristian and him meet up. And they're trying to stop, listen, hear me out. The main villain of this movie is Death Beers. He just hates every single race. He's racist. He hates every single race besides humans. I don't know, man. Ever since they killed off, I believe in the show they showed a flashback and they killed off Denzel. Ever since then, man, he hates the goddess race. He hates fairies. He hates giants. He hates the demon race. He especially hates Meliodas. He's like, yeah, this Meliodas dude, nah, I don't vibe with Meliodas. So his whole plan is to get revenge, and do all that. And then the movie ends off on Tristian and Lancelot. They're fighting these semi-bosses right? So they beat him, and the movie finishes. That's where it ends off. And then after that, I don't know. That's just where it ends off, man. So yeah, it was a very good movie. I do want to say, it definitely has potential to be very good when the part 2 comes out. Now I want to talk about, how can this relate to Grand Cross? Grand Cross, I feel like, is the dumbest company. Not Marvel is the dumbest company I've ever seen. Okay, here's the thing. They could have capitalized on this movie so much, right? So we had the one Ultimate, right? Escanor. God, super hype character. And then it was December, right? We got Valenti, but on Valenti's release date, I think it was like a day or two off, the movie dropped. So they could have capitalized by dropping Tristian into the game, Tristian and Lancelot as a banner. That would have driven so much. I feel like this movie's not like popular because there's not much attention to it. There's not much promotion to it. There is barely any, barely any promotion. And they could have promoted it by putting the characters in the game just the way like Dokkan and Legends do. Like Legends, I believe, after the new movie with Piccolo and Gohan, they dropped them in the game. They dropped Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo. Even Dokkan's doing it right now. They're dropping, I believe, Orange Gohan or Orange Piccolo and Gohan, Beast Gohan. And Grand Cross is not doing shit. Like even last year when the new other movie dropped with Zaldus and Meliodas, they haven't dropped shit. I don't understand it. Like it's those characters from the other movie, the previous movie. They're not like you could have dropped those. It's not. It wouldn't have ruined the game progression of how they want to release characters in order, because it falls in the order. So I don't understand it at all. I don't know what they're doing. They could have done so much better with this. They could have dropped Tristian, Lancelot. That would have brought so much hype to the game, man. It would have it would have it would have been like a graph. Like Grand Cross would have done this, but instead it had dropped Escanor, Valenti, and Liz, and we went down like this. It was a very big fall. I don't know, man. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But I hope in the future we do get Tristian, Lancelot, because they're pretty cool characters. I'm not gonna. Tristian is kind of broken. He's got demon powers and god powers, so he's absolutely insane. He can heal. He's cracked. Okay, and then Lancelot too. Lancelot is insane. Can we talk? Bon is a Riz god, man. Like all we see from Bon, they show one clip of Bon, and he's just in bed with Elaine, just naked. I don't know.